Hello, everybody. My name is Sebastian. I'm working with IOG on the project Hydra. I'm humbled to be representing the team, representing to whom we've worked with on this project, on the dev team of Hydra, which is not only IOG, it's broader, as I want to show you today. And thanks for voting, firstly. And let's get started. It's only 10 minutes, as I'm aware. I always started with why, and I couldn't have wished for a better introduction than Empower really is why are we here? We really want to build an open financial operating system, making a new platform for millions of users, empowering and decentralizing finance to globally distributed and decentralized world. And the problem with this, as any blockchain is facing, is mostly that while it solves many purposes, it solves many issues by decentralization, fancy consensus mechanisms, or Robbers is very good, very efficient, but still it requires massive global replication, and this means usually lower throughput and high latency than traditional systems. And you might have heard of the blockchain trilemma. There is the factors, security, decentralization, and scalability all counteracting, and you cannot just maximize one without actually compromising any of the others. And that's what we want to address still. We want to address scalability by making it more scalable, make it more be able to process more transactions, makes it a more capable system, creates more adoption. But how do we want to go about this? And I want to start with like an intuition here. So you shouldn't need the Federal Reserve or Swiss National Bank, whatever have you, to agree on when you play a game of poker, or when you buy a croissant, or when you lend money to a friend. And this intuition basically is also a solution idea many scalability solutions are taking with them, and it is not every transaction requires global consensus. So we can go faster, we can go cheaper, if we don't send and record everything across the globe for any kind of transaction we want to process. So that means often it's sufficient that basically you agree with your business partners that something happened. And that's fine, we can go faster that way. We don't need a global permissionless ledger for this. But if something is going wrong, if you don't agree, if you don't have consensus, you want to have a fallback mechanism, a layer one. Now, I want to quickly take this example back again, this poker game thing where how can you actually do this, right? So we have this global system where you can take funds from, we want to extract some state from there and take it with us onto the poker game table. We want to like play some rounds of poker. We want to do many transactions there. We actually just win a round and we lose a round. We just do many kind of transfers there in a more narrow, more local world. We can do that quite fast and cheaply. But in the end, we really want to bring back into the outside world. We're going to use the winnings we got from this poker game. And we do so using some cryptography, some kind of signature schemes. And that's, for example, how Hydra works. That's it. That's the state channel. We can actually evolve state off-chain and put transactions off-chain to allow a different kind of balance in some use cases. For example, playing a game of poker. So we started 2 years ago with a research paper, which is the multi-party isomorphic state channel paper. It's only 60 pages, so it was an interesting read. And this is how it started. Now, over time, I really don't bore you with this. This is how it's going. You might have seen this demonstration. Can you play the video? Lately, there should be a video. Can we play that, please? Yeah. So we have seen this demonstration, right? We just saw, just lately, the decentralized exchange running in a Hydra head. But, I mean, this is just an experiment, right? We have been doing non-trivial transactions within a Hydra head to see how far we can go. Okay. The rates were going higher after that, but basically we already had an order of magnitude more transactions inside a head by doing so. It was only an experiment, and this is just one use case. There must be something between. No, this is. I just want to quickly say how Hydra works, basically, right? We have a layer 2 scalability solution. That means an application like this DEX we just saw, or a wallet would interact with a Cardano node today, but we want to have it also be able to interact with a layer 2 system like Hydra nodes, in the same way as it was using the Cardano node. We are using the same ledger model, the same transaction formats, so it can be quite easily adapted into it. And this is what we're currently putting together. We're like kind of creating this first version of a Hydra head protocol, which is the state channel protocol, which has this same capabilities as a layer 1. It has scripts and multi-assets, the things you know and love from the layer 1, can still do that in this off-chain transaction processing system. We're also putting them together some features necessary to operate it, like persistence and networking, to some level of maturity. But there's more. There are so many roads ahead. We can go, this is just a quick sketch of like how you can evolve this like first basic topology into multiple directions. And you can remove the entry barrier, make it easier to use, or make it more reusable and have a single state channel be used for multiple like different kinds of transactions and business operations. And this is one direction we take it right now from a basic Hydra head into this managed Hydra head topology. This is just a way to make it more easier to use, and especially within payments, we can actually go quite easily further. We can make it easier to use, so you don't need to run these Hydra nodes, not just as it is envisioned in the paper. We can make it a bit more easier to approach, and this is what we're doing with a partner company. So together with Obsidian, we're building Hydra for payments. Can we play this video, please? To have a quick demonstration on how we create a payment channel, right? And payment channels are really the most basic, most simple thing. You might know it already from Bitcoin Lightning, where you can already benefit from this off-chain technology, where you could send transactions much more cheaper, much more faster, right? So each of these transactions confirms within a sub-second time frame, like 40 milliseconds or something, and accrues over time. And we see each of the individual of these transactions is already final, because both Alice and Bob agreed on it, and they, by agreeing it on this one transaction, they have a guarantee they can bring it back to the layer 1 whenever they feel like. Can we go to the next slide also? I guess this is a bit boring, yeah. So this is what we're currently working on. We're working with Obsidian, with SundaeSwap SSI, we work with MLabs and other people from the ecosystem of the Cardano community to see which use cases can we already scale with Hydra. We're also working on making the protocol more mature, making it audited. Anybody interested? We'll really kind of make this ready. And it's very important to us that while we also have this first version only, we evolve it over time, that we want to come to an open specification. It is really an open protocol, an open platform, because only then we can really make sure it's getting adopted. Hydra is not a network upgrade. It's not flipping a switch and everything's fast. It requires adoption. We need to have it used by applications, by transaction processing systems, payment providers, whatever have you. And that's why we're also very keen on building this in the open. You might have guessed by now that we're like really value open source. Our repository is on GitHub. We're working together with these other projects very openly with an open roadmap. And now a tiny announcement to make, right? It has become more than a proof of concept. Now we can say it's really just a starting point. The first thing is there. We kind of now, since 2 days or so, you will find us on GitHub without the POC suffix, right? And that's something, it's a good step for us. So I really want to invite you and everybody, all the builders, all the people caring about making this global world like financial operating system, the Empowers, the SundaeSwaps, all kinds of use cases, come talk to us. We're really excited about like enabling use cases, making it faster or cheaper, or just more final or less rollbacks, right? I mean, this just also can be usability can be improved. And this is why we also are building this platform. You can scan this QR code, visit us at the website. You'll find some communication channels there. Hit us up on Discord, on GitHub, on Stack Exchange if you have concrete questions, or on Twitter. Write me an email, whatever. I'm here all day. And yeah, it was very nice. Thanks again for voting for us. And we hope to help make this vision a reality. Thank you.